Why does this wireless mic always refuse to work? What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. One second, I need to fix this mic. Are we good now? Nope. Come on. Why are you doing this? Mike? There we go. All right. We are good now. 1 second. Where's the... I've got a cough and I'm kind of phlegmy, though I don't feel sick. So I don't know what that's about, but hopefully I can make it through the stream without completely losing my voice. Let me get this graphics card out real quick, and then I'll get to chat. Oh. Nope, that should be it. Okay. All right, we got Stang is first today. What up, Stang? What up, Heavy Metal? What's up, Craig Lilly? We got Dr. Doobie, aka Ant-Man, aka I don't know what you consider fun on the internet, but it being weird. We got Extreme Zone. What up? What up? Finally, some nice weather. Barbecue, some T-bones. Lucky. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? You're cleaning up your X570 Aorus Master. You also cleaning some hardware? I don't even have all my stuff set up. Man, let me see. You probably can't see, but my hands have been extra dry recently, and I was putting together a build, and I cut myself. And man, it just made me think, like, I feel like humans are kind of weak. Like, even the strongest person in the world who, you know, like, works out, even if they're on steroids or whatever, can lift, like, 1,000 pounds across multiple lifts. All it takes is like a sharp, even a piece of paper can give them a paper cut, and then that paper cut will have a stinging, like, painful sensation. What good is all that muscle and like dense bones and everything when we're so susceptible to like little cuts and nicks and stuff? It sucks. But compared to, like, let's say some kind of bug that has like a hardened outer shell that protects them from that kind of stuff, I kind of wish humans had that, or at least actually I don't know, but then our sense of feeling. Anyways, weird shower thoughts. Paper cut. Danny message Linkin Park. What up, Logitech? I don't know if it's allergies. I've never had allergies before. The girls have been having a runny nose for like the last week, though they don't have a fever. Maybe they have allergies. Maybe I've developed allergies, adult allergies. I think that's a thing. What up, Dispatcher Gaming? Cords. Oh, the girls are going down for a nap. Night, loves. I see you in a bit. It is bath night, and we have no backup today. The sister-in-law and the mother-in-law are not here. It's just me and Melissa. Ash the Goon. Yo, bro. I have a question. Do you think RAM prices will go down by next year or stay the same price? I've seen mixed reporting across different media outlets. No, I don't even know. I don't know. But I don't know if I would trust anything that anybody says because everybody who's saying anything is doing it for clickbait. Even I do it for clickbait on these streams. And though usually I'm referencing other people's claims that RAM is either going up or down. But yeah, within the last week, I have seen both reportings of RAM prices around the corner, prices decreasing, as well as it's gonna last throughout the whole year. So I would say, I'm guessing you're asking because you need to get some RAM. I would say there are places to get RAM for decent prices, and it's not going to be Amazon or Newegg or any of those, unless you buy bundles and stuff. But I have found, at least in my secondhand market, people have been selling both DDR5 and DDR4 for reasonable prices, like half the price of Amazon. So you just got to be okay with used parts. What up, light skin Mike? Sup, Rickshaw? Sup? You clean RX 570 8 GB? Is that your guess at what the card is? What up, Pedro? What have I missed the last 2 streams? Heavy metal? I don't even know because honestly, the streams come and go so fast. So last week we were chill talking about tech, deal hunting, and more. Oh man, that's the least descriptive title for a stream. But the one before, we checked the memory prices, and then in Bazite we installed World of Warcraft, and we got Crimson Desert working. So that was a pretty notable stream 2 streams ago. Last stream was just a chill stream. It was mostly just talking to the chat, hanging out, and stuff like that. It wasn't anything specific that I was doing for it. Hello. We got the Unk Ken in the house. What's up, Jensen? What's up? You should check out Omega X Switch mission. What? Wait, Omega X Swatch mission on Earth, Desert Moon Swatch. What is this? Sorry, I'm going to be clearing my throat. Swatch? These are watches? Omega, what it? One second, I need to... Oh my goodness, what is up with my UI? So tiny. Okay, so sorry. Okay, what is this? I'm not a watch person. Wait, what is Swatch? Are these like Swiss watches? Swatch offers a stylish watches, Omega, and yeah, I know like zero about watches. I'm just not a person to typically wear anything like accessories wise. What did it just come out or something? You sound very excited about it. Magnus Nielsen says, I got a hold of an RX 5700 today. Anyone experienced flashing? I've actually never done that. I've never flashed the XC BIOS on those. I just like overclocked the 5700, but I never did the BIOS. And next time I hit my hands on one, if it's not a non-XT one, I'll probably do it. Load cardboard boxes for 8 hours a day and your palms will toughen up in a couple of months. I think the issue with me also is my hands are like just extra dry all the time, even though like I moisten them. So especially like when working with rubbing alcohol, it dries them out like crazy, and then it makes them more susceptible to cracking and stuff easier. Where the heck did I put the rubbing alcohol? It's over here. Let me get my ouch. Okay, that's not ideal. I just walked into my toolbox, which poked my squishy human body. Okay, I think these are the tools that I'll need for this cleaning. What up, Refused? Hello, Tin Soldier from the UK. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. My allergies have diminished as I grew older. I used to take 4 shots a week. Oh my goodness. As a kid, Ken, that was many years ago. 4 shots a week though? Why no one has went to dark web for PC parts now with AI? I don't even know what this sentence is. This sentence and your profile picture is AI. Hey Danny, you gonna talk about? We can talk about that. The AMD blacklisting controversy regarding Steve from Gamers Nexus. So I saw that. I saw multiple videos regarding that. Like I think Jay made one, Hardware Unboxed made one, and Gamers Nexus made one. I don't know. So I wouldn't be surprised if AMD has Gamers Nexus on some kind of a naughty list. But I'm not sure if for this CPU they got blacklisted because it seemed like a limited like sample this time around for whatever reason. Cause like even Linus didn't get one. Hardware Unboxed got one. It just seemed kind of random who got one and who didn't, but the overall list of people who did get one was definitely much smaller than past CPUs and GPUs. So I don't know if Gamers Nexus was specifically blacklisted because then you could say, well, was Linus blacklisted? But I don't think it's a good precedent for companies to not send early review samples and units to people that criticize them, especially if they're doing it objectively, because yeah, that's kind of like silencing the information that does need to get out to the consumers. So obviously I'm not for that, but in this particular instance, I don't know if it's specifically a blacklist towards Gamers Nexus. We're gonna have to see in the next product releases, right? If that's the case. RAM prices will go down by 20% by July, then go back up by Christmas, says N2 Tech. What is this based off of? Play guitar for a few weeks, you'll get calluses, so let's you. No, what I need to start doing is lifting again. Because that would also help out. But I've been lazy and not doing that. So that's why my hands are very sensitive. Bro, I watch for take 32. What? Bro, I watch for take 32 gigabyte DDR4 or DDR5 before. I don't know what this is saying. I'm planning on building at some point. I've been stuck at this on the 6-year-old laptop with 4 gigs RAM and integrated graphics. Yeah, I would say if anything, you can build a DDR4 system just as a starter system. That would I have a video coming up on a DDR4 based system. I would still recommend DDR4 systems for people who have like less than 1,000 to spend on a build. I think AM4 is still super, even if 13th gen Intel as well on DDR4 motherboards, I think those are still very viable. I just installed Linux on my laptop, Ubuntu, LTS. All it does is run MP4 movies. Linux content is just entertainment. I don't think we won't have time. I actually, since we don't have help tonight and it's bath night for the girls and all that, I probably have to end right around 2 hours. So, can you check the photo of my PC on new case? If you have experience with small cases, any advice how to manage better the cables? Give me 1 second. What is all of this? So we're talking about this right here. Nope, this is about as good as you can cable manage in a case like this because there is no rear chamber. Is this a... This is not a SFX. The only other way is to get custom or just shorter cables or custom length cables, which I don't think is really worth the money. Does this case even have a tempered glass? Yeah, it looks like it probably has a tempered glass side panel. But how to clean this up? Well, for one, use black zip ties so that at least these white ones don't stick out as much as they do. But I mean, unless you take this and shove it down, like right here, we already have cables coming out of the power supply. So I would take anything that's loose and not taut, pull it, and then like kind of cram as much down here where we already know there's going to be a grouping to like reduce length like in this section. But yeah, there's not much you could do with this except custom cables or using a SFX power supply that comes with shorter cables. What card are we cleaning today? You guys are going to guess, and I will reveal it after it is cleaned. It's nothing super special though. It's a card that needs cleaning basically because I'm gonna use it. What's up, Chodini? Hopefully I said that right. Bought a Crucial 525 gigabyte SATA SSD. 525? 525? Was that a common size for a Crucial? Let me see. Because even if you type, oh, yeah. I don't know if I've used 480, 512, 500 gigabyte. I don't know if I've ever come across personally a 525 gigabyte SSD before. Huh, interesting. Give me a 20. Yeah, regarding the watches. The only accessory I do wear is my wedding ring. That is the only one that I wear. And even this one, kind of, I have to take it off from like when doing some stuff sometimes. Not that stuff, but you know, like when I moisturize or if I'm like applying lotion to the girls and stuff like that. I hate when I get low because my ring has like this green groove on it. If it's gonna Is this gonna focus at all? Hello, you gonna focus? But it has, you see that like this a groove where it has the green highlight, and so lotion and other stuff get caught in that pretty easily. So I have to take it off when I'm, you know, moisturizing or doing stuff like that. A hoodie with shorts? I know, right? My legs don't get cold. Bjorn says Gamers Nexus is full of it, in my opinion. Full of like I I watch a lot of like across all the PC like tech related content. The top ones that I probably watch are Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unboxed, um, and then probably like Linus, and then all my buddies like from the Tech Fam and stuff like that. But for review stuff, Gamers Nexus and Hardware Unboxed are like my top. Um, I don't agree with everything that Steve does, but I do appreciate his advocacy for the consumers as well as the detail that he does put into the reviews and stuff like that. But to say that he's full of it, I'm curious what makes you think that. Why only 70%? I got 90, I have 90 something percent. I have multiple, so let me see. Where's my other one? I had a 90% bottle somewhere. Oh my god, I stepped on one of the girls' toys. You guys hear that? But no, so I have 99% as well. I only use 99% if I'm doing something where I need it to dry really fast. Otherwise I just use the 70% if I have like time to let it dry. So I'm in no rush for this one because 99% costs more. It's more concentrated. And I am cheap like that. Also, 99% does not give you as much time to work with because it evaporates like almost instantly. Whereas 70%, there's enough water content in here where you could like, move it around and reach, like, let's say you soak a paper towel or like a microfiber cloth. It gives you time to like wipe the entire surface and get all of it and collect all the grime and dirt. Whereas like 99% would like evaporate and you have to keep on applying it. So there's not, I don't think higher concentration always is better. It depends on your use case. But also I'm cheap. So, I save the 99% for only when I really need it. Or I could also take it and dilute it if I needed. It's almost like only smaller channels got one, maybe trying to manipulate the reviews. I would say Hardware Unboxed is not a smaller channel. They're pretty big. Honestly, after seeing a Gamers Nexus video of AMD, you're talking about the one where Lisa Su is playing nice with Trump and also following suit with NVIDIA. All I can say is all corps are the same. Yeah, everybody was so diehard anti-NVIDIA, anti-Intel. Yay, AMD, the saviors for gamers. And now look at what they're doing. So yeah, they only care about your money, so you should only care about what they provide for your hard-earned money. Yeah, stop being fanboys to any company. The watch has been out for a while. It was really hyped and then it was overhated at one point, but it's still a very cold watch for a nice price. I mean, I don't know what is a cheap versus expensive watch. 300 seems pretty reasonable for like a fashion piece that basically lasts almost forever. SSD is the only thing you can have more and use and sell it. Huh? So far, do you think the benefits of Linux is worth learning curve for Windows users? Honestly, I unless you absolutely hate Windows or want to just mess around and learn Linux, then I don't really see a point for the average person to hop over to Linux. Like, I think most people don't care that, Windows has thrown in Copilot and all this other garbage, and is like spying on them and all that stuff because of the convenience. Like, I I think if you're asking this question, you are probably not a person who would enjoy Linux because you would have already tried it out of curiosity. Like it's this question seems like you're trying to find a reason to hop over, but if Windows hasn't already pushed you over, or if your curiosity just to tinker around with it hasn't already pushed you over, then I don't know if you're the target audience for it. That's my thoughts on it. Have anyone heard from Robert Fixit? You're right. We have not seen Robert Fixit for a while. Though I'm not sure if they're in any like other communities or Discord servers or if they people have seen them on other channels, comments in YouTube and stuff. But you're right. But the thing is, if you go back and watch any of my streams from years past, there will be names that you don't recognize from those streams. People come and go, like you probably don't watch the same YouTube channels. I mean, there are probably some YouTube channels that you've watched for the last decade plus, but there are also ones that you've probably watched for like maybe a year or two and then stopped at some point in time. So not everyone sticks around for a while, though we have had some people in this stream chat who has been around since the beginning, and I know there are some people who've been watching my channel since the beginning. But yeah, people come and go, and that's just the way it is on YouTube. I have a 3060 12 gigabyte. Do you think it's worth it to go to a 5060 Ti 8 gig? No. I would say just if you have a 3060 12 gig at the price that 5060 Ti 16 gigs go for, just go for a 5070 or find a 4070 Super in the used market or something like that. I wouldn't go to a 5060 Ti personally. That's not a big enough jump for me. Hey, what's up, Socks 8372? First stream. Welcome, welcome. We just chill here. Though Jesus, chat's been going on all night. Right now, I'm just hanging out with chat because once I get into cleaning the graphics card, I'm not going to be able to hang out that much. I'm going to be focused, but all this cleaning talk reminded me that I should clean my PC and repaste. Yeah, not a bad idea. That's what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if I'm going to be replacing thermal pads. If I can reuse, I will. Get 100% isopropyl. It'll dissolve right when you take the cap off. The thing about the higher ones too, I feel like if you don't seal the cap well enough, they evaporate in the bottle. Like over time, the level just gets lower, even if you don't use it, if you don't seal it off well enough. Which this one, even though I tightened it all the way, yeah, I can hear it. Can you hear this? You guys hear that? Like, I've tightened this pretty much all the way. Yeah, there's like, I mean, it's soft plastic. So even squeezing it, like air gets through. So yeah. Um, Saran wrap, then screw the lid on. Okay, I'm not trying to be that cheap about it. If it the amount that it evaporates due to that little bit of I guess loss. Oh my god. Ow. Yeah, I got a pretty bad. Actually, it probably doesn't look as bad there, but this cut has been opening and closing. Yeah, you can't see it too much because there's no blood coming out. But I got a cut on my thumb that keeps on opening and closing and opening and closing. Yeah, you can barely. You can see like the indentation, but um. Oh my god. 99% alcohol right onto that. And then I got another nick right here. You probably can't see this. Yeah, I was working with a sharp motherboard. For PC flipping, how do you get around the RAM prices? Even used in UK, 16 gigabytes. Uh, I mean, PC flipping has always been about deal hunting. You say in the UK, even in the UK, 16 gigabytes is that much, but between those ones, people are probably listing good deals and they're getting swiped up pretty quickly, and you just have to get it that quickly. Either that or don't PC flip. Don't overextend. The thing about PC flipping is some people do value paying for your labor. So if prices are up across the board and you have to, buy, for example, this 16 gigs for 80 pounds, then you can at least still make money for your labor if you are that good enough of a PC builder. And if not, then you're not being competitive enough. Then maybe stop flipping until the prices get better. But yeah, I think PC flippers, the good ones, figure it out. There's no secret formula or trick to it. You just you figure out what you need to do to get the parts for a low enough price so that you can profit. Your man cave, I know. So We got the baby gates up. I'm using computer boxes to block stuff. It's the girls are taking over. The girls do they're walking now, so they need more space. I used to have let me see if I can show this. Is this gonna work? No. Why is this not gonna work? Why do you never work? Okay, let's see. Oh, that's why it keeps changing. Okay, so like, is this gonna? So I used to like this. I used to make it like a square, and it basically just covered this pad. But then the girls started walking, and now they're running around, so they need more space than just like a little pen. So then I expanded the gate to like a lot, so they have a lot longer of a distance they can run across. Sorry for the lagginess. Droid Cam sucks for some reason right now. But then I had to like use a PC case and some boxes to block off like my shelf so that they can't reach into that and to block that section off because I ran out of gate. I don't have enough of these gates, so I had to start using other boxes to do that. So yeah, hopefully this is as big as the expansion for the girls space down here gets because I don't have any more things to block off. All right, I gotta go to the end of chat so that we can get to cleaning this PC. What's up, Big Tone? Um, so you asked about Linux because Copilot and AI does bother me, but when I looked into switching Linux, there's the different versions of the OS. Is it worth the big learning curve? I don't think there's that big of a learning curve. Even though we like on the stream we have run into like small road bumps. But it's different when you're just using it yourself versus when you're using it while trying to talk to chat and like be entertaining, right? Like all the problems that I've showcased on the stream through any of the Linux streams, um, it would have been a quick Google search had I not been on stream. But because I'm on stream, I wasn't trying to just Google everything. I was trying to interact with the stream and get members of the community to help out. So it was like a communal thing. But like it's really easy to install Linux and start using it. And for the ones that we have installed and used so far, Mint briefly, and then now Bazite, I think it's fine. It's pretty easy to install. And then I don't know what you use your computer for, but if it's mostly just browsing, watching YouTube, listening to music, playing games on Steam, and then maybe some other browsers, like you can get that all up and running without any problems. It's only when you start doing specialty niche things that you have to consider, does Linux play well with it? Like for me, Adobe does not play well with it. As well as I like using Riva Tuner and MSI Afterburner. There's not those exact programs for Linux. There's equivalents, but those require a learning curve to get up to speed, whereas I'm already familiar with MSI Afterburner and Riva Tuner, right? So, but I would consider that niche. Most people don't like do overlay stuff, so that's not a problem. I would say, like, just for basic functionality of a computer and browsing and gaming, yeah, Linux is pretty. You could install it and get caught up to speed pretty quickly. Not having MSI would be annoying, but there's alternatives, right? Like you can use the Steam built-in overlay, then you can use that Mango HUD thing that we installed. But I've just been using MSI Afterburner and Riva Tuner for like well over a decade, so that I just prefer that. Similar to you can use DaVinci Resolve on Linux, but I'm just too familiar with Adobe Premiere Pro. But I don't imagine most people are, video editors and content creators, so that might not matter. How often should you clean your GPU? I don't know, whenever the temps get hot. I would say dusting your GPU and your whole PC as a whole, maybe every few months to 6 months. But like to actually open it up and do a deep clean, I don't even know if that's necessary. I'm doing it because this one's kind of dirty and it's gonna go to somebody, so I kind of want it to be cleaned up. But if the temperatures are fine, then you don't need to touch it. Steam does have overlay that can be detailed, but you can't modify it as much as you can. You know how in my benchmarking videos I have my specific layout that I do. Like I want it to be able to like move things around, and Steam overlay is not that like you can't do that as much. Yeah, super glue. I was thinking about super gluing my fingers shut. I should probably do that because it keeps on freaking opening. I've never had to take apart a GPU. I've cleaned the outside, but never had to take one apart. At least not yet. I think for the you usually don't have to. It's just I want to get to the fans and kind of in the nooks and crannies. So, all right, let's get to doing this. While I continue to talk to you guys, let me get an angle in here. So let's see. Nope. Is this a good enough angle for you guys to see? Ish. Yeah, I would say so. About centered there. Okay. Let me save this. You need to keep it wrapped. Yeah. I did wrap it with some tissue and tape, but then as I was working on stuff, it came apart and undone. Let me set down something so I'm not getting dirt and crud all over my desk mat and table. Where can I find any random thing? Here we go. This works, I think. Also, feel free to guess what graphics card this is. I think this should be able to catch most of it. I'll just do it on top. Should be fine. MSI Afterburner is the Winamp of overclocking GPU. Okay. Actually, this makes it... Give me a second. I have some other cardboard that is flatter that I can use, I think. Does this work? Okay, this is better because then it doesn't put it up high and doesn't get a weird angle. But yeah, feel free. I'm curious how good people are at guessing graphics cards. I think people in the chat have already guessed. I'm trying to not show what the sticker says. The card doesn't, so I've already given it a wipe down on the outside, but then I was looking at it more and there are parts to it on the inside that I wanted to get to because it actually ended up being pretty dirty. I'll show it in a second. RX 5700 XT. Well, I don't remember. Here's the power connector. It's a single 8-pin. Oh, I need gloves because, again, the alcohol in my dry hands, they do not mix. Where's my... Here we go. Funny, my first NVIDIA card is an XFX. When did XFX... Wait. Let's see. NVIDIA XFX. Let's see if we can find this. Last NVIDIA XFX card. XFX ceased production in 2010, transitioning exclusive to AMD. While they launched some GeForce GTX 250s and earlier models during the final phase, they famously decided against producing or selling the high-end GeForce GTX 400 series earlier that year. I don't remember seeing XFX NVIDIA cards, like, personally. David will be disappointed if those aren't Veleda gloves. Wait, is that a meme? Tell me about the lore about Veleda gloves. No, I got these because they were green. I don't even know what brand they are, but using NVIDIA gloves on an AMD. Actually, this is not the right head. It is too small. What am I doing? Have you ever heard of spray foam GPU cleaner? I saw it about 7 years ago. No. The only cleaner I ever typically use is isopropyl alcohol. I don't ever use electronic contact cleaner or anything like that. Okay, gotta take the fan connector off here. Come on. Actually, I'll take it off once this plate comes off. And then this is for the VRMs, flattening. This is an AMD card. It's not that old. Maybe we do a thermal pad replacement. Is that corrosion? That might be corrosion. If I can show it. Right here. Can you focus, please? I've seen this kind of white-ish corrosion appear on heat sinks before. But overall, it's not super, like, there's not a bunch of clumps of dust, but you can see, right, that this is pretty dirty. And the thermal paste is pretty hard and chunky. So I'm going to do the thermal paste cleaning first, and then I'll wipe down the whole board. Let's see, what thickness is this? Here's the thermal pad. Man, maybe I replace that. Let me see if I have a similar thickness one in my toolbox. What is this? You guys get a bunch of robocallers throughout the day? Or is it just me because I'm a content creator and for some reason my phone number somehow got out there? That has to be at least a 5-year-old card. Shoot. Off the top, I think this is closer to a 8 or 9-year-old card. Has anyone guessed it yet? RX 560 4 gig OC. RX 570 is another guess. Where is my thermal paste spatula or just any kind of piece of hard plastic? There is a chunk on here that does not want to come off. Usually saturating it with rubbing alcohol and just letting it sit there for a second helps soften it too. RX 580. Is this your first time cleaning a card? No, it's not my first time cleaning a card. I think I cleaned a card in the previous video that it was time lapsed, so it went by pretty quickly. But I generally try not to open up graphics cards if possible. Just because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I actually wanted to get to the fans. Okay, so there it is. So I got that, but you have to open it up to get to these fans, which annoyingly, I don't think these fans come off of the hub. One important thing is always keep track of your screws. Who uses that card? These are dirt cheap. People who just need a display out. And people who want to do some light gaming. Hey, even if these are dirt cheap, if it can get use out of it, that keeps it out of the e-waste container for, you know, however long. I think 10-year-old graphics cards can still be usable. You just have to find the right home for them for it to be, you know, enjoyed. Not everyone needs only new hardware. With that kind of mindset, the world will be filled with a lot more waste and e-waste. Oh yeah, so here's that's not dust because I'm gonna wipe across with a wet rag with rubbing alcohol, and it's still there. Or at least I don't think it's dust. I'm gonna take a toothbrush to it in a second. I wanted to get to these fans. I gotta remember the orientation. But yeah, see on the back of the fan blades, they're pretty dirty, and an air duster, and just the whole shroud itself, yeah, it's pretty dirty. Unfortunately, these fans, aside from replacing them, I don't think they pop off the hub. Yep, I'm not gonna try to break these. Beast like RX 570. Yes, this is an RX 570 for anyone who guessed RX 570. This is the 4GB model. But the person who this is going to, they're not going to be using it for gaming. Though it might see some gaming because they might have other people using the computer for light gaming, so. But this is primarily going to be used for a display out. And then just like some very light tasks. But yeah, look at the fan blade difference between the two. So I just cleaned this one, and this is the other one. It would have been impossible to get the underside of the fan blades had this card not been disassembled. As well as just cleaning underneath here at all. Like look at all that just like brown layer caked onto it. I keep on forgetting which area of the cloth I'm soaking. So I'm just like having to apply more and more. But yeah, see, so you can tell which of the fan blades get wiped beforehand. Okay, let me see. RX 570 is fine for Roblox. Hightail. People are saying Hightail a lot. I have not played Hightail. Is that a good game? But it's perfect for Valorant. It's perfect for League of Legends. I'm sure it can do unmodded Minecraft, just like vanilla Minecraft. It can play World of Warcraft. RX 570 can handle Skyrim. It can do Cyberpunk at lower settings. It can do God of War, Ragnarok at lower settings. Like, you can still play a lot of games on these graphics cards. Especially, and for the price that they're going for, I think that the average street price is like $40. Like, what are you really expecting out of a graphics card that you're spending $40 for or less sometimes, right? Like, anyone who's like, oh, it's old, it's useless, whatever, like, bro, uh, tell me what else you can get for like 30 or $40 that will perform that much better on any given day of the week. Not some lucky deal. Hightail is great for being in alpha state, but at 30 FPS, no. The good thing about these cards is they work. FSR in a lot of titles like works well with them. That's the good thing about FSR. It's not like dependent on the major manufacturer, and it kind of transcends generations up to a certain point. I don't know how old of graphics cards I have tested FSR with, but going back to like 400, 500 series RX cards, it works well. Call me stupid, but I would have just run the fan housing under a sink with some soap. I think you could do that, but yeah, you would have to remove the fans as well. And I don't know how much quicker that is. And then you gotta like wait for it to dry. I don't think it's that big of a deal to like go through and wipe this. Yeah, I mean, sticking it in a bag with hot soapy water and shaking it. Actually, I don't know. Hot soapy water, I think, can get a decent amount of dust off. But for anything that's caked on that might need physical, like, rubbing, agitation, some more force applied to it to clean, I don't know if it would get that. But also, I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't be able to really show that. I guess I could get a tub of water, but that would be a bigger mess to try to like bring a tub of soapy water in front of my computer and do that method of cleaning on the stream. So I'm just doing it the old fashioned way with the rag. I actually don't care too much about the underside of the shroud as much as I do the fan blades, which I have gotten. It's funny you're doing this because I just did this to my 4070 Super and 3090 Law. It is kind of relaxing to just like clean your hardware like this, but it could be time consuming depending on the level of detail you want to like do it to. Yeah, some of these nooks and crannies are going to be pretty annoying to try to get to, but I will do my best, and I will use as well using old toothbrush heads works pretty well. But you wouldn't want to throw the fans in to the water as well, because you would mess up the bearings, which are lubricated, and they are electronic, or they have cables and stuff and power connectors, so you would have to be extra careful about drying them if you were to do that. A friend of mine got really nice benchmark results with a 7800 X3D plus RX 580 8GB in esports. Lol. Yeah, I mean for some of those games that are CPU dependent, you just need a graphics card for with League of Legends, for example. League of Legends does not leverage your graphics card all too much. So having an X3D chip with like something like a 580, you can still get really good numbers. Okay, let me get the die. Gonna try to saturate it, even though this is pretty caked on. I feel like I need a toothpick to get the edges of the die. I've tried to get rid of corrosion with alcohol. Doesn't work. I've got a really bad corroded heatsink back here from a graphics card I bought from someone in Hawaii. And my goodness. I actually did not only an alcohol bath where I like submerged it for like 24 plus hours. I also did like a vinegar as well because supposedly that is supposed to help with it. Also did not do anything. I think once the corrosion eats away at the surface of the heatsink, there's no, it's not just surface level. Yeah, there's a, I think I'm gonna try to redo the thermal pad because this thing is leaving black stuff all over it. Have you ever baked a graphics card? No. I don't know if that's ever actually worked. I understand the concept behind it, reheating up some of the solder so that it might reflow and like, you know, make something that was once dead work again. But I don't know if I've heard, let me take it back. I've heard people say that they have successfully done it, but then you watch that Lewis Rossman and Linus video and they're like, yeah, no, that's BS. Don't do that. And that's an old video. My God, Lewis Rossman meeting Linus for the first time. That's gotta have been like what, a decade ago? An oven can't get hot enough to melt solder. What is the melting point of solder? Ovens can get up to what, like 500 degrees? Or is it like four something? I usually don't take, 1 second. So you see on the die right here, it is getting cleaner. Look at the board. It is getting cleaner, but I put a decent amount of alcohol and the die is still complete, the chunks around it. Let me get a toothpick real fast. And I know some of this doesn't matter, but we're just chilling on stream anyways, so why not go above and beyond? Okay. So what I'm basically gonna do is use this. Yeah, see, there it is. Now it's working. Doing this to get these flakes off. What's up, Observer of Thoughts? Actually, now that we're talking about this, let me show you that heatsink. That no matter what I did not make a bit of a difference. I just came across it the other day. This one was bad. This was a GTX 780. The card ended up dying, because of age. But yeah, take a look at the corrosion on this one. Well, you can already tell by you can see the discoloration of it. But let me see if there's any close up of the corrosion that you can see. I guess on this surface, you see. Come on. Focus. You see all that? No amount of rubbing alcohol, no amount of vinegar, no amount of anti-corrosion chemicals and brushing. That's already eaten away. This looks like it was sitting in a saltwater bath or like found at the bottom of the ocean next to the Titanic or something with the amount of corrosion there is on this heatsink. But yeah, so on this one, that's what it looks like, the early stages of it. Right there. Versus what's on here. But I mean, this doesn't really affect the performance. Because as long as there's still space for air to flow through, the fins are going to get hot and then they're going to cool down when air flows through. It's for the most part just aesthetic. Okay, so thermal pad. I wonder if the internet, actually, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to pick a thermal pad thickness that is equivalent to that, because look at this thing. This thing is, ugh. Yeah, I'm going to replace this. Let me go grab my thermal pads of various thicknesses. If I can find where I put those things. Alright, got a bunch of them right here. Got a bunch of varying thickness thermal pads. I should be able to find one of the correct thickness. Actually, I think I got it on the first try. And I don't mind getting one that's slightly thicker. What is this? 2, so I think it's like a 1.5. Do I have any 1.5s here? Right here? This one actually looks like... Yep, there it is. Found it. I'm going to peel this off. And it just breaks off. That's what it looks like after sitting in high humidity of the PNW for years. Yeah, Hawaii is even more humid. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to wipe that down. Actually, let me do the heatsink now. I got a GTX 780 working again by baking it, but several other cards failed. Yeah, I mean, I've heard plenty of stories online of people saying they baked their card and it worked. But I think that is like the last resort that people should do, because it might just be like a failed ceramic capacitor or some other random component on the board that you could actually bring it back with, and you might actually ruin the card by baking it. So unless you're okay with potentially ruining the card completely, and you know, you want to do like a last ditch effort, then maybe don't bake it and try other methods. So now I'm getting the toothbrush heads into the actual fins itself, so I could get a little bit in there, and then I'll blow it, hopefully, and that'll loosen up as much as I can. It's kind of hard to perfectly clean this without basically doing some kind of a full soak. I kind of want an ultrasonic cleaner specifically for this reason. An ultrasonic cleaner would be perfect to actually get in between the heatsink fins even better. But these fins aren't so bad. It's just like a slight layer of dust. It's not like it's super caked on and super like solid chunks of dirt and debris. How do you clean a heatsink with a lot of aluminum white rust? You just clean it. If you can't get rid of the rust or other corrosion, don't worry about it. As long as it still can do an effective job at heat transferring, like heat away from the graphics card die and the VRMs and stuff, then who cares how it looks? Drunken Raccoon, no worries. There's no coming late to a stream. Just get here when you get here. But we're working on an RX 570, 4 gigabyte. Oh man, there's a lot of crap actually coming off as I'm wiping this down. Okay, that's good. Let me get the die one more time before we get ready for... Oh wait, I gotta cut the pad. All right. The pad needs to be... Where's my scissors? Actually, I might already have a piece that's almost the right size. How thick is this? No, that's too thick. Oh, I got it to the perfect length cut. Nice. Okay, let me see. I got all the pieces here. I want to get the VRMs one more time. There's actually a decent amount of gunk on the VRM from the previous thermal pad. So I want to make sure that's nice and clean before we put this new pad on. Okay. So this, yeah, that sheet of thermal pads, can you use that on a M.2? Yeah, you can. This is just generic. I don't even I got this stuff from AliExpress, but I've been using this for years. It's It's just thermal paste. Not thermal paste. It's thermal pad. Whatever the material is. I'm not sure if it lists it on here at all. Yeah, just here. I'm sure just like thermal paste, there are different, you know, uh like compounds of versions that different companies and stuff makes, but I mean, I guess if you care about like a couple of degrees difference, then you could pay more for some specific ones. But I found that like these exact same thermal pads on Amazon cost more because that's how it works. People drop ship from AliExpress and then upcharge it, so it's available quicker to the US. But I just buy these. Like I haven't had to buy new thermal pads for like a really long time. I just bought a bunch in the past, and I'm still using them because I don't. This isn't something you have to do too often, like doing a deep clean and changing out thermal pads and stuff of a GPU. Okay, what are we doing here? Oh, I got to put this back onto the fan shroud, and then we can put this. Okay, let me get my bearings straight. So bam, bam. So that means this goes this way. Okay. One thing you need to be careful of if you're doing this is do not lose your screws. So, I mean, some screws you are probably fine with, but like, don't lose the important ones. Like, don't lose these little spring screws. The four that go around the, if it will focus, the four that goes around the GPU die that makes sure that there's an adequate amount of pressure pushing the copper plate and thermal paste into the die, because then you might have issues. Yeah, no, I have a magnetic screw tray. It's just filled with so much crap right now. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, you want to? I can't. I need more. So this is my magnetic screw tray right now. I think this is the Harbor Freight one. It's a big one too, but like I got so much crap in it that I can't throw these into here. So yeah. Oh, what I can do actually. Oh, so in my magnetic screw tray, I have these hard drive magnets from when I've disassembled hard drives for whatever reason over the years. These could also be useful for gathering up screws, but look at this thing. It's already filled with screws on it. So yeah. I just have way too much stuff on hand. But I'm pretty good about not losing screws. Even though I don't use a magnetic screw tray always. Whoa! Wait, what? Let me pull this one up. Let's see if I can read your name correctly. Abdullah Zimpato? Abdullah Zimpato? Thank you for the $50 super chat. Found your channel 1 year to 1 year and a half ago. Thank you. Well, hopefully I was helpful to your PC computing or gaming PC journey, because that's a lot to super chat. And also, is there anything else you wanted to say? The second one, 1 year to 1 year and a half ago. So a year and a half ago. What drew you to the channel, or what made you stick around? I'm actually curious. Everybody in chat, actually, what keeps you guys coming back for whatever reason? Because like I said earlier in the stream, the natural life cycle of a YouTuber is you get popular, but then eventually you slowly fall off, just because there's more competition now than ever, and people eventually get sick of seeing you, so they move on. And I don't feel like I have a type of channel that can continue to grow at a rapid rate for till the end of time. Like, I've definitely oh my god, all the stuff that came off that I cleaned, it's on the back plate now. Crap. It's okay, I can just wipe it off, or I can blow it off with the duster. My goodness. After I did the cleaning, I probably should have went and emptied. Here, let me do it now. Let me wipe this. Yeah, all the thermal paste flakes and debris and stuff and dust came off. Let me get all this out of the way. All right, and then the final part. So we got the thermal pad on. It's right there. New thermal pad. We got to do the thermal paste, and then we got to line it up and drop it like it's hot right here, and then screw it on. So for this, I typically apply the thermal paste and then spread it thin. And then, oh my god, the thermal paste has hardened. The tip. Someone should invent a screw sorting machine, kind of like a coin sorter. Yeah. I haven't tried opening and cleaning a GPU yet because it's honestly intimidating. I feel like one wrong move, it can turn into a paperweight. Uh-oh. OBS just disconnected. We good? Why did OBS Studio just disconnect? Yeah, so you don't need that much because you're going to spread it thin on the die. I might have just put too much there. But basically, you put a little bit of thermal paste on there. And then you take a spatula, which I need to find. Where's that freaking spatula? I just used it the other day. Oh, here it is. I don't know where you get these spatulas from. I just have some on hand. I think they came with either some coolers or something over the years. I probably need to buy more because I always misplace this dang thing. But then we just take that and we just spread it thin. Make sure the whole die is covered. Actually, I probably didn't put enough. Let me see if I can spread it across the whole surface. Actually, that might be enough. Because it is going to get squished out. I bought a whole bunch of these spatulas on AliExpress. I have never bought one of these before. These have all been included in some type of way in the hardware that I've purchased or used over the years. I'm just going to put a little bit more because I would rather not have to open this up and redo this. And overflowing a little bit to the sides is not the end of the world. And then what I normally do after I get the coverage on there. That's good enough. It's gonna squeeze down. And then what I normally do, because there's always like some left on here, I just spread it right to the middle of the copper plate just to get a little bit more thermal paste there, which will also make contact with the die. Just so I'm cleaning off the spatula onto the copper plate. And we should be good to go. And then the fun part is trying to align this upside down, because now we're going to be bringing the PCB and the die onto the cooler. If I can get it in the right orientation. Yeah, so then we're going to bring it down this way, lining up the holes, applying the pressure, and then tightening it after I connect the fan real quick. Got to connect the fan right here. Uh-oh. Seriously? You guys seeing this? The fan connector housing came off. Oh my god. Let me see if I can get my phone to show this. Look at this. So I was like, wait, huh? So you see the bare pins? The housing is right here. You see the connector, and then you see the housing came off with it. Which I've had happen with USB 3 connectors. I don't know if I've ever seen had this happen with a fan connector, which is fine. It could be that the adhesive just failed because it's that old. But I will just put it back the way that the outline is showing. Oh man, now lining this up. Weird. I didn't get a noti. Did you dead it? Did I dead what, Chris? What up, Chris? How you doing? Oh man, this housing is actually... I gotta get this thing off. Seriously, this is what's gonna slow me down at this last portion. I need some needle nose pliers. We got dual needle nose pliers. Okay. Try to pull this off without... Come on. I'm gonna try a flathead. Yeah, I'm trying to get the metals to connect again, but it's kind of hard to line it up. Now that the housing is stuck to the connector itself. So I'm trying to disconnect them so I can get the housing back on, and then I'll get the connector in. There it is. Got it. Okay. So let me get this lined up so that it's less things that have to line up. Come on. Oh, this is annoying. One of the holes looks a little bit closed up. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it. You see that? Let me see if I can get a better angle on it. Yeah, so there. So we gotta push this back into place. There we go. If I can get the focus on the right part. But there we go. Now we can connect the fan. And then we do the thing we were intending to do. Okay. It's always more than a simple repasting. That's even more so the case when I'm doing it on stream. I just repasted a different card not too long ago, and it went pretty smoothly. And then now I do this one on stream. Oh, my glove. My glove, it ripped. But it's okay, we're done. And I'm going to pop this in, run Furmark, and see how... I should have probably tested the temps beforehand. But it's okay. So long as the temps aren't bad afterwards, and the card is cleaner, that is the goal. Now will it post? That is a good question. Hopefully it will. Why is this screw not lining up? The other 5 out of the 6 did. There we go. This one's just the VRM one, so I'm not as concerned because it has a thick thermal pad. There we go. Okay, now we're going to tighten these in a crisscross pattern. One thing you have to be careful of is stripping these screws, because if you strip these, you're going to have a bad time removing them unless you have like an extractor or, you know, a specific tool to deal with stripped screw heads. Because, yeah, if these strip, you're not going to be able to take your graphics card apart. Okay. Let me give it a final wipe down, and then we're good to go. All right. This is not the prettiest card to begin with, but let's see if this thing will now post. All right. Just going to go into this system right here. I'm not going to hook up the capture card. I'm just going to use my camera and show if it's working or not. Okay, what are we connecting to? Or maybe I will. Maybe I will actually connect it to the capture card. Oh, look. I can use this as a... or actually, I could probably cut off the glove and use that as a thumb cover for my cut finger. Here, maybe this will work. There we go. Good for counting money, too. Green thumb. If it doesn't post, put all the dust back. It did post. Let me see if I can show. Here we go. We're in. Okay. So where's for mark? So we're just gonna watch the temperature. And this is normal behavior because this is the fur mark knot, which is very difficult to run. So we'll let that. As the temperature keeps going up. The fans just kicked in. They were off up until now. Okay, let's see. I gotta love the first gen Fractal Meshify. Good eye. I feel like it didn't age too good. I don't know. My biggest gripe with cases from this era are the tempered glass panels. I gotta wipe this glass down, but I hate these types of thumb screws that go through the glass. It's just like, to me, it's such a horrible design. Most case manufacturers don't do this anymore unless they're like super cheap, like low end cases. But we've evolved away from putting thumb screws through tempered glass, and I'm so happy that it's not a thing anymore. But this is an older case, so it still has that design. Let's go back to looking at the 65 degrees. Is it gonna get any hotter than this? Look at the clock speeds. Where are the? Is it even monitoring that? Do I have hardware info on this? Let me see. Nope. Oh, actually, let's take a look at Task Manager. Oh, it's down here. 1100 megahertz. Was that how slow these cards were? Let me take a look at this. RX 570. Tech power up. I forgot that cards back then just didn't have these like wildly high clock speeds. What's going on, Tech power up? What are we doing? Why are we thinking for so long? What's up, Javon Tech? I don't know what the temps were before the repaste. I should have checked that. I just did the repaste because I was opening up the graphics card. I don't know if it needed a repaste. I was opening up the graphics card so I could clean underneath the fan blades, and so I could clean up the heatsink and stuff. But because I was taking it apart, like, well, I'm gonna have to reapply thermal paste anyways, so that's why it got a repaste, as well as that thermal pad was looking really rough. So that's why I replaced the thermal pad anyways. But the main reason I cleaned up or opened up the graphics card was to wipe down like the fans and the shroud and everything like that. Yeah, so let's see, what was the, I think these were actually just that speed. Where is it? Where's the core and memory clocks? Oh, here it is. Yeah, base clock 1168, boost is 1244, 1750 memory clock. I feel like this one is being a little bit modest. It's not boosting. Memory is 100 over, but it's only running 1100 megahertz. With at least FAQs. I don't have any games installed on this PC, but I wonder if it would boost higher once it's in a game and not a synthetic benchmark like this. It's at 73 right now, which I mean on FAQs, basically a super intense, way more intense than a gaming workload. I'm not too concerned. Also, I don't have MSI Afterburner on this PC to see what the fans are running at, but I'm sure it can run faster. It's not that loud right now, so we'll see what the temperature stabilizes at. Oh, going back to my question, why people stick around still and watch my content. Joe P says you're a nice grounded kid with some great content that appeals to even us old geeks. Wait, Joe P, how old are you? I don't know if you've ever shared your age. But you said I have a fond admiration for you, Danny. Enjoy watching you evolve. No drama is a big plus too. Thank you. I appreciate that. I miss the days when GPU shrouds could be spray painted. Wait, why can't you spray paint modern GPU shrouds? I feel like a lot of modern ones you still can. LAN party stories keeps you coming back. Okay, got it. All that stuff is now on my keyboard, but I have this amazing electric air duster now that I can take care of all that crap that just came off the graphics card. See what the temp is now. It's at 74. Are we stabilizing and maxing out at 74 degrees? On FAQs, not. If so, I will take that. I don't know what it was before, but at least I didn't mess up the repasting job. I have a 5700G, 32 gigs of RAM, also 750 watt PSU. Which CPU should I pair with it? Budget is 300. For $300, do you care about NVIDIA versus AMD? For $300, I know you could get a 6750 XT or 6700 XT easily. I don't think you could easily get a 9060 XT. You should also be able to get a 3070, maybe a 3070 Ti on a good deal. You should be able to get an Arc B580. So which card? If you need NVIDIA, you're kind of stuck with like a 2080 Ti or a 3070 in today's market. But if you're okay with AMD, then I don't think you can get a 6800 XT for 300, unfortunately. So I think you're kind of have to go with the 607050 or 6700 XT for around 250 or less. I don't think there's anything right at the $300 mark on AMD side, short of a good deal. A good deal would be like an RX 6800 or 6800 XT for 300, but that's kind of hard to. I think that would be hard to swing. And I mentioned 2080 Ti because of the additional VRAM, but the performance is going to be similar to a 3070. A 3070 will just have better ray tracing and more DLSS support, I guess, but 3 gigs less of VRAM. If you're trying to play Crimson Desert, Red Dead Redemption, and GTA modded, I don't know how difficult GTA modded is, but I've seen 8 GB cards run Crimson Desert and Red Dead Redemption 2 just fine. GTA 4 modded? Not GTA 5? GTA 4 modded, I would imagine 8 GB graphics cards should do decently, but maybe not. Skyrim is an old game, and that can go crazy if you mod it up the wall. For under $300, for under $250, I think 8 GB of VRAM's not the end of the world. But if you're trying to push the 300, let me see. What's the temperature? All right, we're not going any higher than 74. I'm just gonna let this keep running just to make sure no other problems could come up. But let's take a look. Yeah, because RX 6800s, what are these going for? 320 or best offer. This looks legit. But everything else, ooh. Let me sort it by buy it now, lowest price. Parts only. Yeah. See, parts only as is. So this is problematic. If this one doesn't have a problem, let me read this. You could do a best offer, make an offer for 300, but this is going to be more than 300 after tax, and shipping is shipping's only 644. Not bad. I don't know if you're accounting tax into your $300. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be a problematic card. It seems like a legit seller. I think this is the best you probably can get for $300. And this is a Sapphire Pulse version of this, which is Sapphire is probably my favorite AMD AIB. Yeah, I go back and forth between Power Color and Sapphire, but I think Sapphire edges out Power Color for me. Just because of my own my first AMD card was Sapphire way back when. My ride-alongs, my generosity, and my well-grounded attitude for a youngster. Are you gonna call me a youngster even when I turn 40, Ken? That's only a few years away. Interacting with live stream is another reason. Okay. I'm glad these sometimes I look at the live stream numbers, like, how many active viewers and how many views it gets once it becomes a long-standing video on the channel, and I'm like, are the live streams still worth doing? Because I put in a lot of effort to never be late and to not move the stream schedule, and when I am here, I give you guys, for the most part, my undivided attention, and I enjoy doing it, but the numbers aren't the best compared to other streamers out there. So sometimes I question, like, what if I didn't stream? Would that make it would make a difference to my mental health, because I enjoy the streams. To me, it's fun and relaxing. But in terms of like my YouTube numbers, my revenue, none of that will change if I stop streaming. Like, the streams I know don't bring in any more subscribers. It doesn't bring me in any money, but I do the streams like for me and for you guys, not for the money and views. But if I ever had to stop it for whatever reason, due to time commitments and stuff, it would probably be the first thing I have to axe, because it doesn't bring in any additional money. I know people donate and stuff like that, but in the grand scheme of things, for the amount of time that is put in, it's not the bigger money maker for the channel. What up, Tech Wiz? What's for dinner? I actually don't know what is for dinner. Let me ask Melissa. Babe, what's for dinner? Oh. Can I open it on stream? Okay. Melissa got me something from work, and I didn't open it earlier, but because I was running late to the stream. But thank you, love. Oh, it's not Din Tai Fung? Oh, Ugh, how could you? You tricked me. All right, she tricked me. This is whatever's in this bag that Melissa brought home from work is apparently what's for dinner. It is a Din Tai Fung bag, but it's not Din Tai Fung according to her. Oh, mom meatloaf. So we got some like, what kind of noodle is this? Some kind of noodle. I can't tell. It looks like, no, this looks like spaghetti. You know, sometimes like Asian wonton noodle soup noodles looks like this too. Okay. So we got some nudes. Oh. And some Skinny Pop and jalapeno chips. Melissa's work, they stock the snacks for them. So these are free. So she grabs me snacks from work every day. And then, what is this? I gotta be careful not to spill this because this is pretty saucy. I'm already making a mess. This is that's bok choy. So this is not spaghetti. This is Asian. Wait, did you guys eat out today? This is what they had at work? This is like beef, Asian beef soup? Beef noodle soup. Yeah. Taiwanese beef noodle soup. Okay. Yeah, it smells good. And you separated the noodles from me. Thank you. Why you didn't eat more of it? No, I got your own. Oh, this is my own serving. Nice. Okay. So this is what is for dinner. Taiwanese beef noodle soup from Melissa's work. Because they have vendors that come and like they switch up the meals and stuff. Fart fuel. Will the twins eat some? No, the twins, we have our own stuff that we make for the twins. They don't get to eat stuff with seasoning for the most part. The twins just eat like fats and proteins and carbs that are like the healthiest thing that we can find for them. It's just like plain chicken with sweet potatoes and some vegetables and stuff like that, but we don't really put seasoning because they don't need it. They're babies. They just need the nutrition and not the flavoring. All right, take it easy, Drunken Raccoon. Quality over quantity any day. Just wish the money didn't rely on numbers alone. Yeah, that's the sucky thing about YouTube. It is a numbers game, unfortunately. What up, Benzerino? Just joined in. Did you talk about tariffs being refunded? No, oh, no, I did not. Okay, we're going to check back in. Oh, what are we at? 74, 75 degrees? So, yeah, and how long has this been running? Almost 17 minutes, 18 minutes now? So the graphics card is good. There's no problems. There's no artifacting. It didn't crash. So I did not completely break it. I successfully cleaned and repasted it. And the temps, I mean, if it's maxing out at 75 on Furmark, yeah, we're good. But no, I actually saw that Xbox. We talked about the price increase. When was that? On like how long ago was that when they decided that? So Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price update. So starting today, which is literally yesterday, Game Pass Ultimate drops from, so they increased it. What was it originally? Was it 15 or 20? They increased it to 30. Now it's down to 23 a month. PC Game Pass will also drop from $16.49 to $14. Prices may vary by region. Beginning this year, future Call of Duty titles won't join Game Pass Ultimate. Okay. And I forget who I was watching that talked about this. It's like in Call of Duty, regardless of how you feel about it, is a major franchise, right? So for them to be including this in Game Pass, they probably have to pay X amount of dollars, which means that they have to make money from it, which means Game Pass prices has to be a certain level. Because it's not going to be a part of it. They will be added during the new Call of Duty games. So they're not going to be there at launch. They're going to be added the following holiday season, about a year later, while existing Call of Duty titles already in the library will continue to be available. So they're going to delay the Call of Duty availability. Wait, how does this work? Doesn't Microsoft now own Activision Blizzard, which owns Call of Duty? So why does that matter? It's like Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will continue to have access to hundreds of games. Okay, including current Call of Duty titles, in-game benefits. Okay, all that. Let's run a poll. Do you have a Game Pass subscription? Yes, no. Oh, I say yes, not currently, but have, and then never. For me, I've subscribed to Game Pass before just for one of the LAN parties because there was a game on there that we wanted to play. So actually, we did the $1 for the free trial month subscription for that. And then I forgot to cancel it, so I ended up paying for Game Pass without using it for a while. But yeah, I don't like the idea of paying a recurring monthly payment to rent games from a digital library. I don't know, for some reason, to me, even though like our Steam library, we don't technically own it, the Steam servers could just shut down any day now, or like they could ban your account and it's not actually your like games like a physical library. But still, with Steam, there's no risk of it ever like going away, except for if Steam goes down, which probably won't happen. But like with Game Pass, they just actively are changing up the library. So I don't know, just the whole thought of it was always kind of weird to me. I would much rather just pay more for the game or wait for it to go on sale and just pay the game to own it digitally, I guess. It's still not what it was before. Not that ever be though. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the prices of everything just generally trends to go up, right? Except for the Costco hot dog and drink. But everything else generally goes up. I need to upgrade ASAP. I'm on an 8700K and a 1080 Ti. I feel like that's still workable. You can still 1080 game up to modern titles for the most part. You can't play ray tracing locked titles like Indiana Jones, but I don't know how many people are interested in those types of games. I don't have a Netflix account, but our household does have a Netflix account logged into the TV. No, Melissa subscribes to Netflix and Disney Plus, and then she shares like Hulu and Paramount and stuff with her siblings. Like they have those accounts and they share it with us. But the I guess with I'm more okay with Netflix for some reason than I am with Game Pass. It's down here. I would give it to them down here. But yeah, I don't know why I'm more okay with a Netflix subscription. Renting movies versus renting games. Maybe it's because growing up, we did rent games on occasion, but we rented movies way more. I don't know. The idea of renting or temporarily having access to movies, I'm more okay with than games. I don't know why, but I just am. And if you stop paying for the service, you lose access. At least that's what it is with the PS Plus. Well, I mean, yeah, if you stop paying for Game Pass, you lose access to those games, even if you're in the middle of a playthrough. I don't have a Game Pass membership as I play PC and mainly only play the same couple of games. Fortnite, which is free. Arc Raiders, which is a pretty low cost and then free to play afterwards. But my son has Game Pass on his Xbox. You can save enough annually to buy the COD game based on $30 cost. COD games, I don't know how long it takes for them to go down to $30, but they start off at $70. So you just want to upgrade before GTA? Oh, you don't have to worry. You have a year to update. I don't think GTA 6 is coming out on PC until probably like end of 2027. If it's only releasing on console at the end of this year in what, November? Is that still the date? Is that the date that they're sticking with? November? Yeah. I don't see it coming. I don't see the PC version coming out within at least like 6 months of this, if not a year. So I'm thinking holiday season 2027 is GTA 6 on PC if it even releases. Let's look at the. I always forget what the gap was between PC and. Here we go. So GTA 5 released September 2013 on PS3 and Xbox 360. It didn't release for another year and a half later on Windows. More than a year and a half, like a year and 7 months or something. So I don't see GTA 6 coming out until very end of 2027 or like halfway through 2028, which sucks because I'm looking forward to GTA 6 and I'm not going to play it on anything but PC. They should make the game Call of Duty Rules of Engagement. God, bro. I'm saying 30 to minus 23 is $7 per month. 7. Oh, times 12. That's what you mean. Got it. Sorry. I totally misunderstood what you're saying. Yeah. So now with the price difference, the lower price, that $7 you save a month, you can buy out the Call of Duty game. Probably not all the seasons passes that come with it, but yeah, I see. I think with movies, you sink less time into them. So that's why you're think renting a movie is more acceptable. But if you become infatuated with the game, you want to pay it longer than 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, I think that's probably part of it, as well as well, I think people for TV shows it's a little different. If you have Netflix for movies, yeah, it doesn't take that long to watch something, and then afterwards, do you want to really watch it multiple times? If it goes away, it's not a big deal. But TV shows, if you're watching that through Netflix and stuff, that's different because if you're watching an old TV show with tons of seasons that you're sinking a lot more than 1 or 2 hours into it, then that's when you would feel really bad when they take a TV show off of Netflix, or not even just a TV show, but any series. I did not drink water this whole stream, and my voice is killing me. What am I doing? Let's see what the poll is looking like so far. Never. 65% of the votes so far, people have never had Game Pass. Then it's pretty even split between the rest of having it or having it in the past. What do I think about handheld PCs versus gaming laptops? I prefer gaming laptops, but it's because I would probably want to do more things on my device. Handheld PCs, for what they're capable of, like on the lower end, are cheaper. Like you can get a Steam Deck for what, $400 or $500. A $400 or $500 laptop, if you're buying it brand new, like we're comparing new to new here, is not fair to compare new versus used. A $400 to $500 laptop usually doesn't get you a gaming capable laptop unless it has some kind of integrated graphics. that does allow you to play like League and Valorant, but you're not getting like a dedicated graphics card. You might be able to get a laptop with an APU in it, but I think that's like the gaming performance comparison. The Steam Deck would be the better gaming experience, but I like to do other things on my devices typically than just game. So having the keyboard there and a bigger screen so I could browse, watch movies or shows, do if I wanted to I could stream on it, do that kind of stuff. I would probably always lean towards the more like PC device than the handheld. Because the handheld without the mouse and keyboard, you're limited to just gaming. I guess you could plug in a mouse and keyboard, but that's kind of like compared to a built-in trackpad and keyboard, I guess. I don't know. How come AM4 CPUs are skyrocketing in price? It's because DDR5 is so expensive that now people are turning towards DDR4. And people, instead of upgrading to the next platform, let's say someone's on like a Ryzen 2600, Ryzen 5 2600, when at this point they would probably hop up to AM5, but because it's so expensive for DDR4 and it's easier to find like used DDR5 is so expensive, but used DDR4 is like super abundant in the used market. It's cheaper to just get the best DDR4 CPU you can, which is going to be Ryzen chips, like the 5000 series Ryzen, and then find whatever RAM you can get. I don't think people want to stay on AM4. They just kind of have to due to the memory shortage. More people are admitting to pirating due to all the subscriptions you have to pay for, and most still have ads. Yeah, that's kind of weird to me. I don't know when Hulu started doing this, or maybe they've always done it, but I didn't notice till later. But like, if you're paying for a subscription service like Hulu, why are you still serving ads? Now, I think the reasoning is because they have a cheap enough tier that's like what, $8 or $9 a month or something. That's how they have to supplement their income, by running ads. You could pay for the ad-free tier, but then it's like, I don't know. How much of this do these companies have to charge these prices that they set? And how much of it is them trying to appease shareholders and get year after year profits? Could these services be cheaper? And these CEOs and all these executives of these companies, they could still have, their yachts and supercars, maybe one less yacht or something. But I don't know. I kind of hate ultra rich people. I know hate's a strong word, but just everything going on in the world that's crappy, it's due to the ultra rich, okay? If you have problems with anybody in the world, it should be with the billionaire and trillionaire class of people. They should not exist. Did I just become super woke and progressive all of a sudden? Hey, old man, your time is up. Go help your wife and kids and go eat dinner. Have a great evening. I'm going to go make some Korean rice. All right, Ken, you have a good night. Yes, I gotta head out. I'm giving it 5 more minutes. We'll go to 7:10. And then we go eat dinner, give the girls a bath, and then work on some YouTube stuff. Will there be a LAN party soon? Yeah, our next LAN party, we've already set the date, is going to be here at my place. It's in May. So then the video won't come out for a while after that. But maybe we can live stream some of this next LAN. I don't know. I got to talk to the crew and we'll see. Hulu been having ads even with paid. Yeah, I know. But I think they do have an ad-free, which costs even more. But I don't think most people pay for that. It's back to cable TV prices. Yeah, if you're taking account all these different subscriptions, It is better now though that you can actually watch what you want to watch when you want to watch, because back during cable, you know, if something's on TV, you got to catch it when it was on TV. Um, I honestly don't even remember how much cable, because I didn't pay for cable back when we were younger. I had no idea how much cable costs. Just basic cable, you know, channels, what, 3 or 4 to 70 something. How much did cable TV cost back when we were kids in the 90s? If you have 3 or 4 subs, let's just say the average sub is 10 to 15 bucks. That's 30 to 45 bucks for a few subs. Is that how much cable TV used to cost? Some of us never left cable. KO, you still got cable? YouTube TV is $80 per month? That's crazy, if it is. We used to record our TV shows and movie. Yes, I remember. Flip the tap and record again. We used to tape a piece of thing where that little square was on the VHS on old movies we didn't care about, so we could record over them. Remember that little tab? T-Mobile for the win. Covers Netflix and Hulu with ads though. And T-Mobile's got some pretty good prices for their phone plans. Eat the rich? Yeah, exactly. Look, I know this might be a controversial opinion, but given the grand scheme of things, I am slightly more okay with millionaires than I am with billionaires and trillionaires. Given today's economy, I'll give the millionaires a little bit of a break. We won't eat the millionaires. Just the billionaires. Where's that image? You always got to go back to this image. Look, think of the... Wait, where the heck is it? You got to look at the grain of rice comparison. Just so you could, like, fathom. If I could... Why is this unavailable? Oh, my God. You can kind of see it right here. I would say... I think most people... If I could get this thing to scroll correctly, geez. Can I, like, not... Oh, my God. I'm going to slap this browser. Brother, can I just pull up this freaking picture? Why is Google open image in a new tab? Here we go. Sorry, jeez. I would think most people would be happy with $100,000 or $100,000 a year's salary, right? Maybe some of us have come up in the world and this is a small number, but I would like if for the rest of my life this is the amount of money I got per year, I would be perfectly okay with it. I think most people would be, because most people are actually under this number. But so this is this is a million. So 10 of these grains of rice. A million is a lot of money, but we're going to compare that to a billion. I think this is a problem. When some humans don't even have half a grain of rice, and some people have approaching 1,000 of these, if not multiple piles of this, there's a problem. So, yes, this is why we eat billionaires. But millionaires, between these two, I'm kind of, it's whatever. This is way worse. Bezos strikes again. Only thing is the billionaire provides most of the jobs we have. I think there are people who provides a lot of jobs who sit with millions instead of billions. But you're right. Now, could you say, I don't know, man, is any single individual ever worth this many grains of rice versus lots of people being worth this one grain of rice? I don't know. Like if Elon Musk croaked and died tomorrow, it's not like Tesla's just gonna like go up in flames. They'll be okay. They'll figure it out. There's other people that work at the company that actually make decisions and do stuff. He's just the dude at the top who makes a bunch of money. I think Elon's actually a dumbass. Like he is. The Tesla would be a more successful company if he resigns right now. So I don't know if he is worth multiple of these rice piles over some engineer actually working on their cars and rockets. But that's just me. Yes, billionaires need all the grains of rice to create their bunkers for unknown reasons. Yeah. Hell, I wouldn't have a problem with billionaires if they weren't literal elitists. You rock a art card in your personal PC? I don't. I took that out because it had problems with Premiere Pro. Yo, what's up in decline? Gamefly with physical discs? I never had a subscription to that. That's the only thing I've rented games from like Hollywood Video before in the past, but yeah. I saw one of those ugly trucks. No offense to anyone that owned one today. Oh, the Cybertrucks? The Cybertruck, I think they made it to be a meme. So the fact that people meme on it and dunk on it, what else did they expect? It's like, it's hideous. I don't think it would be that bad though if Elon wasn't such a dick. When you hit 999, you should get a certificate of participation in capitalism, and every extra dollar goes straight into civil welfare. No, they can't have that though, right? Just think about all these billionaires. Like all the ones that we think about. Zuckerberg, Bezos, Musk, Jensen. Like, why do they need to keep adding to their wealth and riches? Aside from it being an ego thing. Oh, I didn't change my description. Oh crap, I need to change that. I didn't realize my description still said that I had the art card. Yeah, I switched it out in my most recent build update video because it gave me problems in Premiere Pro. It literally would not export videos. Oh, let's check one last time on the test bench. 74 degrees. Yep. 74 degrees is the peak temperature of the card. So we're good to go. I'm going to shut this thing off. It's been running Furmark for 42 minutes, which Furmark has been known to kill older generation of graphics cards. Like people who used to run Furmark overnight, their graphics card would die. But it was with cards older than this though. Cards that weren't smart enough to, tell it to downclock or whatever when it was getting too hot. I think they're fine, but it depends. I love it when they actually give back to the community. Yeah, so like I went to college for free on Bill Gates' dime. His Bill and Melinda Gates College Success Foundation. They had this scholarship called the Achiever Scholarship many years ago. And I was a recipient of that scholarship. And it paid for basically half of my college tuition. Not half of my college, which includes tuition and housing and room and board or whatever. But now that he's in the Epstein files, am I supposed to feel a certain way about it? But I don't know. I feel like there are certain billionaires who have put their money and wealth back into bettering mankind and helping out the less fortunate. So, but I don't know, man. If you're in the Epstein files and there's like any hard proof that you actually did horrible things, I mean, I can't give back that money now, but yeah, I got a scholarship for university too. Yeah, it's like R9 390X dies to Furmark for sure, lol. I think the 500 RX series are fine though. What if you go to night class on the dark web? Dude, Ant-Man, I don't know what your obsession is with the dark web. But I honestly think it's already making you do questionable things, like go into my Discord server and pretend to promote a crypto whatever. You should get off the dark web, because I think it's going to cause you to do even more extreme weird stuff, or just get banned off of a lot of communities on the internet. Like, I don't know how old you are, Ant-Man. You seem like a younger person whose mind is still easily moldable. The dark web isn't a place you want to be. Like, that's going to literally lead you down a dark path. Do I think a 9950 X3D too? I don't even think a 9800 X3D is worth it. Why would I think an X3D2 for $900 be worth it? Yeah, I know. Being in the files doesn't mean they were. I haven't really followed up on the, like, who in the files actually were implicated to actually doing bad stuff. Bill Gates, I don't know, man. At some point, though, now that looking back, like, once you reach this elite status of, like, billionaire, like, so ultra rich and wealthy, you probably get to the point where you think you can get away with anything, and then you do some weird or really horrible stuff. So I wouldn't put it past me for Bill Gates, who used to be kind of like, every kid's idol who was into PCs. Now that you've grown up and you think about it, it's like, yeah, people who get this rich, they're just surrounded by other rich, messed up people. They're probably easily influenced to do that kind of stuff. So we'll see what all becomes of it. But all I know for sure is we know who definitely is in the files and have done some bad stuff. And they're in charge of the country. We have a lot of evidence that getting super rich makes you super, super weird. Yeah. Is there any super rich person that we know of publicly? And even if they're normal, public facing, they probably are weird in their personal life. But who is the most normal billionaire person that we could probably think of? It'll probably be a celebrity, right? That's like not some head of, you know, some some crazy investment firm or some like major tech company. All right. Uh oh god, am I really gonna say Taylor Swift is probably pretty normal? Danny, what happened to you buying an antenna for your TV? Was I supposed to do that? I used to have an antenna. I gave it away. Dr. Dre? I don't know if that was the person I was thinking of. That Shark Tank guy seems fine. Mark Cuban? Actually, I watch a lot of Shark Tank. And Mark Cuban, he seems pretty cool to me. At least from what I've seen in his interviews, any podcasts he's been on, his Shark Tank episodes, just he seems like one of the billionaires that I'd be more okay with. He has his own prescription company. I forgot what it's called, RX something, where he's making generic drugs more affordable. But I mean, he still has billions, so obviously everyone's gonna dunk on him for that. But other than that, like, I don't know, he seems okay to me. I haven't seen any interviews where I'm like, ooh, I don't know about this guy. Mark Cuban is at least willing to call out that being a billionaire is kind of messed up in reality. Yeah, like he's always going, like he goes back and forth with Elon all the time. Um, and I truly believe that he would give up a lot of his wealth if all the other billionaires did as well to like equalize things a bit, but they're obviously not going to. So Shia LaBeouf is pretty normal. He went to Mardi Gras. He's not a billionaire. I don't even know if he's a millionaire these days. Reed Hastings. Read up on Reed Hastings. Netflix co-founder. Billionaire businessman, co-founder of Netflix. Okay. Serves as on a number of boards and works with various nonprofits. Okay. Former president of the California Board of Education. So he's worth 6.6 billion. Where's his philanthropy? I'm pretty sure there's a big activism and philanthropy. Board of Education, charter schools, historically black colleges, universities, Bowdoin College donations, donor advised funds, technology. They've donated 120 million. Okay. In January 24, donated approximately 1.1 billion worth of Netflix stock to Silicon Valley Community Foundation. What is this? Silicon Valley Community Foundation. Okay. So not like the tech, companies of Silicon Valley, but like the community around there, the Bay Area. Okay. I mean, I'm not seeing any. Usually, when these people have controversies, you will see them highlighted here, and he doesn't have any. So yeah, probably a billionaire that is not as bad as the rest. Is Adam Sandler normal as hell? Yeah. Wait, is he a billionaire? I guess he's been in so many movies by this point. I wouldn't be too surprised, but Adam Sandler seems like a pretty chill dude. He's always wearing his basketball shorts and hoodie around everywhere, it seems, in the photos. He doesn't seem to have like a huge ego as a rich person. Akuma sent 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Akuma. I appreciate it. Not billionaire, but Tom from MySpace made his money, dipped, and is living his best life. Yeah. Dude, that's the way to go. Danny, someone says if I have an i9 1490K and RTX 1590, I don't care about my electricity bill. Is that true? Lol. No. I think that's fine. People act like, I don't know, maybe they live somewhere where electricity is very expensive, but even then, the cost of running a PC versus any of the other appliances in your house, it's your hobby. People spend money on their hobbies. It's fine. And when you're not using your PC at its fullest, it's not like they're running at 100%, clock speed and 100% load. Have people ever measured how much power draw parts at idle draw? It's not that much, even powerful components. So, yeah. I have a 15U server rack that is full. I don't care about my power bill. Yeah, once you start running like multiple home labs, servers and stuff, and like running 3D printers 24/7, then it's like you probably don't care about your electricity bill. But to have your one primary gaming PC or whatever being like high end, that's fine. It's not that expensive of electricity. Throw it on a watt meter and be surprised at how little power draw is most of the time when you're not actively using it at 100% load. I wouldn't be surprised if Shaq is a billionaire. Is Shaq a billionaire? Oh, he's not. 500 million to 700 million. He's a half a billionaire. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like some of these athletes or celebrities, they would be a lot more normal because they gained their wealth through doing something that isn't literally exploiting like a ton of workers. You can only be a billionaire by being the head of a company that probably somewhere down the chain of command is underpaying people. But like athletes and I guess you can say, now I'm not going to get into it, but because like the NBA, they probably employ people who don't make that much money, and Shaq performs at these arenas, whatever. But I don't think it's the same comparing an athlete versus like, or like, some kind of celebrity, like a movie star or a musician, to straight up the CEO of a company. CEOs, you got to be some kind of messed up, I think, for the most part, to be a billionaire plus CEO. And didn't forget what it was like to be poor, at least, yeah. And didn't get daddy's money to make them billionaire. Elon and Trump. Lord, I have 5 gaming PCs running every day. My bill's around 250. It's not that bad. Why do you have 5 gaming PCs running? I'm hoping it's because for your kids or something. You're not using 5 gaming PCs yourself, are you? Because you can't use all of them at once. But if you have 5 gaming PCs in your house because other people are using them, then that makes more sense. Only billionaire is Jordan that I'm aware of. Jordan, see, I feel like he's falling. Oh, Floyd Mayweather used to be a billionaire, I think. Now I think he's like going broke, but he's also an asshole, so maybe not the best example. Kids, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, somehow we went on for longer than I intended. I want to show you the PC. I don't know if I can get this video out this week because I don't know if I can record the A roll for this because I'm feeling sick. And my voice is now feeling even crappier after this long stream of almost talking for 2.5 hours straight. But I have a PC build video coming up, and I've done it in this very cool case that I'm very excited to make the video on. Look at this cool case. It's got double curved glass side panel, and it's the shape of a cube. And it's a horizontal motherboard tray layout. This is supposed to be the video this weekend, but I'm losing my voice right now, so I don't know if I can record to wrap this video up. I've already built it and benchmarked it. But yeah, so we'll see if I can get that done. Likely not. So, but yeah, I'm working on that alongside some other stuff. What case is that? Yeah, it's a micro ATX case. Does anyone know what case that is? It's a niche case, but I feel like people who are into smaller form factor as well as AliExpress PC parts would know what that case is. Lee, nope, tiny ass case, wood accents. John, it is Johnsbow, but which Johnsbow case? It is a Johnsbow. Yes, you are correct. I really like this case. The only limitation is the graphics card length. You can pretty much only fit 2 fan graphics cards in it. But man, this case is pretty. Other than that, I like it a lot. It's the V12. It is the Johnsbow V12. Look at this thing, man. So freaking cool. It's so compact. The layout makes cable management a breeze despite its small size. You don't have to worry about graphics card sag because it's vertically mounted. Vertically mounted in the good way. I typically don't like vertically mounted graphics cards on a standard tower where you have to use a riser cable. But when it's a vertically standing card because it's a horizontal motherboard, that's like, oh, so good. But yeah, I love the look of this case because it's like small and it's a cube and it's got the double curved tempered glass on it, which I think adds a nice touch. But I built a kind of a more affordable PC in it. It's an AM4 build because AM5 is just too expensive to be making build videos on right now. So I think AM4 is still good, and I wanted to showcase that with this build. Build Melissa a PC. I need to do a PC build with her where her face is blurred the entire time. Yes, I do need to drink tea and honey, but right now it might be too late. I need some decaf tea. Law Floyd asked for an advance from his money with Pack. That, I don't even know what to think about that fight. Boxing, right now, I'm kind of disappointed in the younger guys in boxing. They need to start fighting each other and stop taking these other less exciting fights. The big names need to start fighting each other. I have the Montec case. I love the Montec case I have. Which case is that? PC Bros. Why did you say PC Bros? Are they selling a build that has this case on their website? Oh, I gotta end the poll. Yeah, the twins are gonna start yelling. They've already started yelling. I hear them making a ruckus upstairs. All right. I think that's going to be it for the stream. Thanks for a fun stream, y'all. Thanks for sitting and watching me take apart a graphics card and clean it up. Yeah, we'll see if I can get this video out this weekend. If not, it'll be, I think the next weekend I have a different video planned. So maybe it might be a couple weeks till this one comes out if I can't get it out this weekend. We'll see though. What do you use to power PCs? What do you use to power PCs you sell or buy? Use a UPS. Look up uninterruptible power supply, UPS, on Amazon, and get one that's like 800 watts or better. It's just a big portable battery that's usually used when you have power outages at your house. But I take it and I put it in my car so it can power the PCs that I sell. You recognize Nosy from PC Bros? What do you mean Nosy? What? Nosy PC Bros. I don't know what you're talking about. Nosy from PC Bros. I have no clue what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about you too nosy? This person. That's who you meant. You too nosy. Are you from the Toasty Bros? What, I'm guessing Discord server or... Yeah. Anyways, y'all have a good night. I will see you in the Discord server as well as in potentially this weekend's video or next week's stream, same time, same place as always. Bye-bye.